Hello YouTube, this is Chris again, back to Normal Services. Today's video, or should I say tonight's video, is I'm going to prove the biblical flat earth without even using the Bible. Well, kinda. So, I've been told so many times I'm an idiot, I'm a moron, I don't understand science, I don't understand math, the schools have failed me, I'm a Gen Xer. I was born in 79. So, I was told the school spelled me, even though I was taught the same exact stuff the people in the generation prior to me were taught. And then I get told the Bible doesn't say flat earth because it doesn't use the words flat earth. But then when I prove using Bible verses, like the earth is firmly established and never can be moved, that God put the sun, moon, and stars in earth sky, so on and so on. So many, from first page to last page, Biblical Flat Earth book, I get told, oh, they didn't know cosmology. They try to pick and choose. And then they try to point to stuff, outside of the Bible. So that's what I do as well. I mean, the Bible is my final go-to. That's the nail in the coffin for me. But I also do things like this when I find things that proves what I'm saying outside of the Bible. So I picked up this, the Columbia Viking Desk Encyclopedia back in 2017, 2018, somewhere in there when I was in Texas. And I think I did one other video on this. Something else I found in this encyclopedia. So, this encyclopedia was written, the last time it was written and edited, and things were changed, in 68, so a year before we supposedly went to the moon. Which didn't happen. The space race never happened, as far as we didn't get to the moon, quote unquote. I've been called a communist again today by my cousin because he watched a few YouTube videos, podcasts, and talking about how flat earthers, the biblical flat earthers, were communist or borderline communist. And I responded back to him, the few times that I have heard that being said was because of that space race between the U.S. and Russia, because Russia is a communist country. And so if you go against America, then you are communist or borderline communist, especially on something like that, because we're trying to prove that we're a superpower, we have better technology, we can get to space first, this and that, that we are superior, right? And so if you go against that, you believe like the Communist Party believed, because Russia didn't believe we got to the moon first. Okay? They didn't believe we made it to the moon. So we get roped into that category of being a communist because we don't believe we went to the moon. People like me, we don't believe we went to the moon. We never have, never will. But we also believe what the Bible says. And for some reason, that makes you a communist these days, especially. Yeah, so anyway, let's move on. So you got front and back page. They're trying to sell the globe. Okay? Now, we all know that image. We all got brainwashed that image. This is the Atlantic world. You can pause that and read it if you want. And there's the bottom of their so-called fake globe. Okay? Focus. Sorry about the lighting and stuff. Okay? And then on the very back page, and then we'll move on. And there's so much more in this book. So much more. They're trying to sell the globe again. So, and off and on throughout it, different things that they show and talk about, all talks about NASA's fake globe model, right? So you're gonna want to see what I show you. So the Columbia Viking Desk Encyclopedia. Okay. This is the Columbia Viking Desk Encyclopedia, compiled and edited at Columbia University. So they're the ones that wrote this, they edited it, they put it all together, then they gave it to the Viking Desk Encyclopedia, Viking Desk, Viking Inc. to put it all together, and how the Columbia Desk or the Columbia University told them to. Okay. So This is compiled and edited by Columbia University by the staff at Columbia Encyclopedia. William Bridgewater, editor-in-chief, third edition, published by the Viking Press, Inc. In New York. Now, if you don't know who the Columbia House is, the Columbia University, I don't know why I keep saying, well, I know why, because Columbia House is like in my subconscious brain from back in the 80s and 90s when I grew up. The Columbia University, which is who this is written by and compiled by, edited and everything, is a private Ivy League research university, acceptance rate of 4%. So they get tons of applications, but only 4% make it through. Half of the applications admitted to Columbia University who submitted test scores have the ACT or American College testing between 34 and 35. So these are supposed to be like top of the top, cream of the cream. They're not, theologians as far as, they're not conspiracy theorists and conspiracy nut jobs and right-wing extremists or flat earth believers and biblical flat earth believers and pseudoscience and, science deniers and whatever. They're not any of these things, right? They're supposed to be like people NASA hire, right? So this was copyrighted in 1953, 1960, and 1968 by Columbia University Press, right? The third edition completely revised and expanded in 1968, published by the Viking Press, Inc. 625, blah, blah, gives the address. It says, all rights reserved. Their rights are, it's probably up by now. It was in 68. Years before we supposedly went to the moon. If you read this here, herewith we present the third edition of the Columbia Viking Desk Encyclopedia. In the complete revision of the second edition, all articles have been reviewed, and well over half of them have been changed. We have tried to bring the articles up to date and adding the entirety of countries and living people accounts, not only of events and recent past, but also of recent discoveries about older events. We have set out to include all the new headings and significant for our coverage, the current maps and illustration charts, tables, and the pages and cabinet of the U.S. presidents, all enhance the value of the next, supplementing in it with graphic materials that are frequently clearer than words with descriptions. The original Columbia Viking, So they're saying that this can't be no clearer, right? This can't be more factual, more clear, more up to date at this point than, than what it is, right? So with that being said, let's move on to the meat and potatoes of this, so I can get this video done and uploaded. So if you look up the word sky, all right, look what it says under the definition of sky. Apparent dome over earth, background of celestial bodies, right? Well, wait a minute. Apparent dome over earth? That's not a sphere, guys. Background for celestial bodies. Now, NASA's model, first of all, would not have a dome. Second of all, celestial bodies, which even NASA admits that the moon, sun, and stars are celestial bodies, in their words. So, in their model, the moon, sun, and stars would not be in front of the sky, because that's what a background is, or a backdrop, or whatever. Okay? It's something that's behind something. And it uses the word background of celestial bodies. So they're admitting there that there is a dome over Earth sky, or a dome over Earth. That's the sky, because that's what this definition is for the sky. And it's behind the celestial bodies, the moon, sun, and stars. Just where God said he put them in the Bible. And these guys, like I said, they're not theologians. They're not pastors. They're not conspiracy whack jobs like myself, as I keep getting told that I am. They're not illiterate and morons that don't understand things. These are supposed to be the cream of the crop. These are supposed to be the smart guys and smart gals, right? And they're saying that there's a dome over Earth, and that it's the background for the celestial bodies, for the moon, sun, and stars that are much smaller and much local, where God said He put them. Even in the book of Genesis, first page to the last page, it's a biblical flat Earth book. But God said He made the vault or expanse or firmament, which is a vault, an arched ceiling or dome or roof, which is a dome. Or if you do the word-for-word translation from the Hebrew Bible, which is the biblical or the Old Testament of the Christian Bible, word-for-word is translated as dome, the same word that's used there, dome, right? So, in the book of Genesis, in the creation event, it says God, separated made the firmament to separate the waters from above from the waters below. That's one reason the sky is blue, but there's many reasons. And this lies about why the skies are blue. And I'm going to do another video, hopefully here pretty soon. I got a lot more videos I got to do, but I got one of biblical reasons why the sky is blue. One is the waters above from the waters below, but there's more to that. But also, in that video, I'm going to talk about which I've talked about in other videos, about Project Dominic and Operation Fishbowl, which is part of the Project Dominic. And I was watching a biblical flat earth pastor today, and he was talking about it, and God revealed to me something that I was so close on, but yet so far away on it. So keep an eye out for that video. But this description here for this dictionary continues to go on. Come on, focus. It says, an atmospheric phenomena, blue color results from selective scattering of light waves by minute particles of dust and vapor atmosphere. Since shorter rays, blue, are scattered most readily. Can't talk. The sky appears bluest when the dust particles are fewer and smaller. That's a lie, and I'll prove it biblically, just as I'm proving the biblical flat earth using this book. And I've done it with multiple other books. I think I did one video on this with this book. Here, I think it was on Earthshine. I'm not sure, but it was shortly. I had a feeling God waited on my heart to buy this. I was at a Goodwill in Texas, and I saw this, and I just had a feeling down deep in my soul to purchase it. So I did. I thumbed it through, and I believe I made one video on on this, using this book. But and so I had a feeling tonight to pull it out and look through it. And I was thumbing through it, and I was looking up, different things. I looked up the word Earth, and I looked up the word, different. I looked up different things, right? Like you would a dictionary, because that's what this is. And so I just had an overwhelming feeling to go to the word sky. I felt it like down deep in my soul, like God was telling me to go to that specific thing. And because I almost just said, forget it and put it up, and I'll look at it later. But I just had an overwhelming feeling to look at the word sky. So I did, and this is what I find. Literally, apparent dome over Earth. It doesn't say around Earth, like they try to say the Van Allen belts. That's what they try to call the dome. And that's a whole video in itself. And then they say it's the background of celestial bodies. But on NASA's model, they're just lights coming in from millions and billions and trillions of light years away, depends on what you're talking about. Whether you're talking about the moon, the sun, or the stars, or other planets, solar systems, or galaxies. But on their fake lie double model, their deceiver model, that's why they picked the name NASA. It's Hebrew is Nashah, which means deceiver. That they say their own selves that there's nothing in Earth sky. Moon, sun, and stars, celestial bodies are not in Earth sky where God said he put them in the Bible. Right in the book of Genesis. God said he put the moon, sun, and stars in Earth sky to give the lights upon the earth. The sun, the greater light, he gave its light to govern the day, and the moon, its lesser light, he gave to govern the night, and he made the stars as well. And he placed them in the firmament or expanse or dome or vault or whatever. Which is exactly what this is saying here. If the sky is a dome, an apparent dome, over the earth, and the sky is the background to the celestial bodies, then that matches the Bible. That means they're in Earth sky. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I was trying to make this short and sweet, but there's so much more I could say on this. But yeah, I got to get back to doing lives. I know that. We're really hurting financially. I know everybody is. If you guys can help financially, my PayPal link is in the About Me section, along with all my other links. If you can't, whether you can or can't help, at least keep us in your prayers. But I had to get this out to you guys. I had an overwhelming feeling to go get this out of my room and look through it, and I did, and I found this, and you know, I just have an overwhelming feeling like God's wanting me to get this video up tonight. So I'm going to get it up tonight. I've already had to make it a few times. This is like the third time I've had to remake it for different reasons. But yeah, stop saying the Bible doesn't say the biblical flat earth. And when you realize that it does, stop cherry picking and saying, oh, they didn't know cosmology. And that schools are, have failed my generation. When the generation prior was taught that there was a dome, that the sun, moon, and stars are under that dome, that they're in Earth's sky, as you saw right here yourself. And that was my finger that went in front of the lens. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Use all the links in the About Me section. Rate, comment, subscribe. Much love. God bless. And I'll see you on the next one. And don't worry, I got a lot of other videos I keep saying I'm going to get up. And I've told you guys in comments, I'm going to get up. And I'm doing my best to get them up. So anyway, I'm getting off for real this time.